Hello there, yarn lovers. It's Gary, and I'm coming to you from my happy place, the Yarn Corner here on the west coast of Canada. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Today it is Friday, June the 21st, 2024. How are you all doing? I hope you're well and staying safe. If you're happening across this channel for the very first time, I've set this channel up to talk about all of my yarny adventures in knitting and crocheting. I talk about my acquisitions, where I purchase my yarn and tools of my craft from. And if that's of interest to you, please stick around. For those returning, I want to say welcome back. I really enjoyed the comments that you left me in the last video I dropped, all to do with answering questions that you posed from my community tab. I'll link it down below in the description box. I posed a question to you as well, and many of you answered, so thank you for participating. And the question went something like this. It was, if you had a chance to choose a place in the world to play with yarn, and you could be there with no strings attached, what's yarn store, yarn company, or yarn factory would you choose? Now, I was very intrigued to find that EFA, which is Expression Fiber Arts, rated pretty highly. Like, a lot of people were suggesting that they would love to play with Shandy's yarn. So Shandy, you'd have to throw a big party or something, all the people that wanted to go and play with the yarn, and I would be one of them for sure. Another top contender was Ice Yarns over in Turkey. There was a couple who wanted to go to Hobbii in Denmark. I would personally choose, now some of you also picked this place, would be to Japan and learn all the secret techniques of dyeing yarn in the Noro factory. So that would definitely be my choice. If you're interested in going over to take a look at some of the responses or listen to me answer some questions that sometimes related to yarn, sometimes more to do with my crafting experience and life, I guess, when I was going through different stages of doing things with my crafts, I'll link it down below in the description box. So what's Hank wearing? So Hank is my man form here. He's wearing a knitted shawl that I completed, I'm going to say around 6 weeks ago. And it's to a pattern called Blooming Brioche. I have it down here. It's a paid for pattern that I located on Ravelry. Now, with everything that I'm mentioning, patterns, YouTubers, if I talk about a yarn store, because this video is talking about a yarn store, I'll link it down below in the description box. So the Blooming Brioche is the pattern that I followed. It's a pattern designed by Brandy, Velten. I really enjoyed it. And the yarn that I used was a really nice speckly yarn. I'll leave the link of the yarn styles and brands in the description box as well. DK weight, and then I held 2 sport weights for the gradient yarn, or the ombre yarn. I held them together to match the same weight as the DK speckle. Yeah, so that's that. Now, to talk about what we came here for today is a Joann purchase that I made. Now, Joann Fabrics is an online store which is situated in the United States. About a year ago, they opened up the doors to Canadians to purchase yarn as well, and they would ship it from the US warehouse into Canada. Since I made a few purchases, I've discovered that my last recent one that I explored, there was a message saying that Joann wasn't any longer shipping to Canada. So I'm not too sure whether that's just something that's happened to me on the day, or maybe there was a missed message that was sent on the screen. So for Canadians who used to shop Joann's in that year period when they opened the doors, perhaps maybe you've discovered the same message just recently. But in my kind of wonders over the year of purchasing and making orders from Joann, I noticed that the Canadian Joann site was different from the US Joann site. The products were different. So I would generally be looking on my Canadian one, looking for a certain yarn, like maybe the Big Twist Party yarn in a certain color or whatever, and they wouldn't appear on that site from Canada. But then when I went over to the US version, they had like maybe a fuller selection of colors. So I got assistance with this wonderful package that arrived to me by my US friend down in the States, who will remain nameless, but you know who you are. Thank you so much for repackaging this and sending this order to me. So I shopped the US side of Joann's website and I purchased the yarn that I wanted that I couldn't get on the Canadian site. And now to date, when I'm finding that I'm getting that strange message that says, Joann no longer ships to Canada. So this is the box. My order was purchased on May the 4th, 2024. And it was shipped to my friend in 3 different packages. So lucky for me, I had it repacked. My friend repacked it for me in the one box, so I wouldn't have to pay 3 different shipping prices. So this box came, I just paid for the shipping for it to be sent from the US to here up in Canada. All the price points that I'm going to give you today on my billing information will be in in US currency. So those of you who are living up in Canada and other parts of the world will have to do the conversion into your home currency. The first one I'm going to start with is one of these yarns that I just want to get all the colors. I have gotten many of them, but there are still some out there that I don't have. It is the Big Twist Party yarn. So it's a 4-weight yarn and it's very speckly. I like it. It's a mild styled yarn which has many different colors running through it. 100% acrylic. I got 4 of these in the colorway called Lavender Bellini. I'm sorry about my nasally congestion here. I've been suffering from some allergies. And the last video that I posted, there's like cottonwood flying around everywhere, and I used it as an opening clip behind my cactus plant that was, Christmas cactus plant that was flowering. It's like Mother Nature going crazy right now. And I'm at the other end of it, sort of like all blocked up and stuff. But anyway, we're not here to talk about that. Let's talk about this wonderful yarn. The Big Twist Party yarn is 100 grams per ball. And it's offering up 240 yards or 220 meters. It's a 4-weight yarn, worsted weight. They're suggesting here to use a 5mm set of knitting needles or a 5mm crochet hook. They are saying care instructions are machine washable and to lay flat to dry. What else can I tell you? Where are you made? I think you're made in Turkey, right? I might have read that it was before. Yep, made in Turkey. Softness factor, I always do this. Out of 5, 5 being the softest. For this, I'm going to rate it a 2.5. So not the softest. And I just love the colors. So I'm on the lookout now for the succulent colorway. And also there is another one called Bubble Tea. So yeah, I got those 4. Price point. Let's take a look. Party yarn. Sorry, I've got my invoice down here on my iPad. Party yarn was $2.24. That's a steal. That's a really good price. I'm going to snap up more if I can. So now we're going to move on to a yarn that I've already cracked into. And I'm using it for a blanket. But I did purchase it in this order here. And it is the Karen Jumbo Ombre. So that's the colorway there. It's called Seashell. I like the yarn. It's probably a 2.5 out of 5. So not the softest, but somewhere mid-range. What can I tell you about the Karen Jumbo? Okay, it is, here we go. Let's turn it this way. It's a 4-weight yarn. It is 100% acrylic, 340 grams, 595 yards, or 544 meters. It is a yarn that is made in India. Yeah. Really like the colors in the seashell colorway. There are what looks to be like khaki. There is purple. There is tan. yeah, seems to be about 4 colors in this color palette. And I'm really like working with it. I'm using a 4mm crochet hook. So I'm going down a size, but for my blanket, it's good that it has a little bit of robustness to the fabric that it's making, because the blanket needs to be a little sturdier. I don't want it to be kind of a liquidy type blanket that, you know, opens up with holes and stuff when you're, you know, got it over your body. So yeah, I've gone down a size in the millimeters. I also crochet very loosely. So yeah, like that. Price point on the Karen Jumbo is $6.79, 74 cents, sorry. I also got it in this colorway here, same stats. That's the colorway. Really nice warm tones there. It's called Sunset. So more golds, coral. There is rose pink, and yeah, I think there's about 4 colors in there as well. Really, really nice. Same softness factor, because sometimes colors they feel a bit different. So 2.5 out of 5 for softness. Now moving along, I got a few that I haven't tried before. Now I potentially could have gotten these in a different website shop, but because I was purchasing from Joann and hadn't seen this variety of Red Heart before, I jumped at the chance of getting some Red Heart as well. So this is Red Heart Super Saver. Really nice colorway, got 2 of these. This colorway is called Retro Stripes. It's a 4-weight yarn. It's got the Okio stamp of tested against harmful substances. And what can I tell you? 4-weight. They're suggesting here, God, this is so small. Looks like a 5mm crochet hook and knitting needles. Machine washable. You can tumble dry this, and it is yarn that is made in India. Love the colors. I'm seeing here that there are aqua, again pink, like a pale pastel pink. There is a gelati green, a lime yellow, and then a neon pink. So this seems to have like about 5 different colors in there. Yeah, and judging from the side of it there, it looks like there's a slow transition between one and the next color. All the colors have been arranged in a way that it sort of blends more into less severe striping, more ombre stripes. So not sure. I'll have to come back and tell you how this one works up. So yeah, told you that it was from India. Softness factor, again, they're all like 2.5 out of 5 for softness. And the name, okay, how much are you? So the Retro Stripes was $3.37 per ball, or yeah, skein. Just trying to see what kind of yardage that I get in here. Okay, 236 yards or 215 meters, and it's 141 grams. So I did want to compare, because I did get a Big Twist value yarn, which is sort of a similar type of effect as the Red Heart, with the less colors. Obviously this has got orange and yellow, so there's probably only 2 different colors in this variety. And the grams are 121 grams, so 20 grams less in this skein. 269 yards or 246 meters, and this one gives you less yards, 236, and this one gives you 269. So you're getting slightly more yards in this, perhaps maybe because they can pack it in a bit more. It might be slightly thinner than the Red Heart. But the price point, let's take a look at this colorway first in details, and I'll give you the price point difference. It's called Sunrise Ombre. And this one here is a 4-weight. They're classifying it the same weight. It's machine washable and to lay flat to dry. You are made in Turkey. Softness value of this one, it feels a little softer than the Red Heart, not by much. So I might give it a 2.75 out of 5 for softness. And what else can I tell you? Yeah, price point. Okay, so the price point on the ombre here from Big Twist is $2.24. So that is a difference of $1.10 or $1.12, the difference between Big Twist and Red Heart. So those are the difference. I wanted to compare that. Yep, less colors, obviously, but I think both are ideal for whatever you need to use them for. But if you're on a budget, the Big Twist would be the way to go for like getting more bang for your buck. So I've got 2 of these in the Big Twist, the sunset version, and now I've got some more of it. I got the Big Twist value in this colorway here, and this one is called Blue Ombre. And this is the same value as what I mentioned before, $2.24 per hank or skein. I got it in this one here for purple lovers. It's called Purple Ombre, very apt. And I got it in this one as well, which is Aqua Ombre. I love this one. This one's so cool. Colors feel the same, pretty much like the standard, because sometimes, as I mentioned before, maybe I did, I can't remember, that sometimes the colors will change up the softness factor of the yarn, and that's probably to do with the dye, but all of these feel fairly similar. Now we're going to move along, and this is one of the items that is also a only at Joann exclusive yarn. It's called KNC, which is, it stands for knit and crochet. And I got myself a fingering weight hank here of some merino, 75% superwash merino, 25% polyamide yarn, and it's 100 grams, offering up 433 yards or 369 meters. So the colorway of this wonderful, beautiful hank, and it does provide me this feeling, it's called Happy. I'm getting that fluorescent pink and yellow. Absolutely lovely. Sounds like a bell went off somewhere. Oh, I think someone's jackhammering somewhere. Sorry about that. Let's take a look. It says it's machine washable and lay flat to dry. I really like it. It's super soft. I'm going to give this one a softness factor of 3.5, 3.75 out of 5. I could wear this against my skin with no undergarments required at all. And it does give me vibes of this gradient here that I did in the shawl Blooming Brioche. I'm starting to love the fluorescent colors. I don't know whether you actually are seeing the fluorescentness of that, but it's a lovely color. And there's a slight speckling. I don't know whether they intended for that to happen, but there looks to be some purpley colored speckles in there. Can't wait to use this. So what else can I tell you about this? Where is it made? It's made in Turkey. And the needle suggestion and hook suggestion is so small, I can't hardly read it. I think it might be a 3.25 millimeter set of knitting needles and perhaps maybe a 3.5 millimeter crochet hook. But that's to be determined because there's so many numbers in that little square and I can't read it very well. 100 grams, I told you that and told you the yarn already. So, smells fresh. Price point on that one. Should tell you that, shouldn't I? $7.49. Worth every penny. I'd get more of that too. Oh, that's nice. So we're going to move on now to one of the reasons why I also got it, along with the party yarn and the little knickknacks here and there that I haven't seen in other places in Canada, to the mandala side of things. And partly the reason why I wanted to purchase these ones was that there were new colors coming out and I wanted to compare them with some of the older colors. So I bought the older ones from Joann's because the new ones weren't out just yet. And I have some to show you. And you probably are very familiar with them. I'm comparing Mandala Baby as well as the regular Mandala cakes. So there is a difference I've discovered. I have gotten this colorway here of the regular Mandala. So it's from Lion brand. And it looks to me like there's maybe around 6 or 7 colors that it runs through in the Mandala as it works its way to the outside from the inside. This one is called Sphinx, and they're classifying the Mandala as a 3-weight yarn. It's a very thin 3-weight yarn, but yeah, I'll give it to them. It's a 3-weight yarn. And I am seeing with the Sphinx colorway, it's got some green in there, some blue, a almost terracotta-y style orange brown, and then a periwinkle, and yeah, tan color. So I like it. I like the richness of this colorway. It's really nice. So what does it tell me? It's 150 grams in the cake, offering up 590 yards or 540 meters. That's a lot of yarn, which is excellent. 100% acrylic, made in Turkey. And softness factor, again, it's probably a 3 out of 5, you know, somewhere around there. It does have a bit of fuzz on it. And what else can I tell you? I think that's it. You can machine wash this, yep, and tumble dry. Yeah, I really like it. So price point of the regular Mandala is, excuse my reach down here, $5.34. Now in Canada, I have seen a couple of Mandala cakes that are on the shelves, like in places like Walmart, and they're selling somewhere between $8 and $9. So I think roughly it's probably the same price when the conversion is made, but I haven't seen all of these colors. So yeah, got myself this one here called Sphinx, and I got 2 of them actually. So there we go, I got 2. They look a bit different, wound differently. So I can see that there is this color in the center, and then there it is there on the outside. So just the way that it's been wound up in the cake. So I got 2 of those. I got myself this one here, which is very autumnal, and it has the different browns, taupes, it's like a red, but it has some orange in it, and what looks to be purple. Very nice, very nice. So this one is Centaur. Really like that. Now you'll see this come back in my choices, I think, for a reason, and I'll talk about that in a bit. Now comparing this baby yarn here from Mandala Baby, look at those bright colors. Now you would expect the soft pastels to be in the baby range, but that's not the only thing that's different. This one doesn't have as much fuzz on the yarn as the regular Mandala does. It's spun a little cleaner and it's a bit tighter. So this one is called Honeydukes. I really like Honeydukes. The colors are amazing. So we got this baby rose pink into a ballerina pink. Then there's a very vibrant yellow, pastel yellow. then it goes into a pale aqua, and then a stronger aqua. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 colors. Three colors, but then there is that the lighter version of it. So I think this will work up lovely. There's a little swatch there on how it works up. So same stats as the regular. It is, the only difference is this one is made in China, and these ones here that I have are made in Turkey. So yeah, so you might be able to see that as the plane goes over. There's some fuzz on that, on those strands, and this one looks to be a lot cleaner. Not as much fuzz. So softness factor, they're both the same. Yeah, they still feel very similar, like maybe a 3 out of 5 for softness. Same price point as well as the regular mandala. So again, both those, the baby and the regular mandala, are $5 and what did I say it was? $5.34. Okay, so we're moving on to the next mandala that I purchased. This is the bonus mandala, which is double the size. So each of the banding of colors is double the length, making it for bigger projects that your striping could be, you know, you could use the stripe in a larger project or have thicker stripes if you're doing a narrower project. So just the idea of everything's doubled up in these bonus bundles. And in the past, the bonus bundles in Canada when they first came out were like around $24. So it was quite expensive to get a bonus bundle. And price point now on the sale prices that you see them at, this bonus bundle has gotten more discounted over the time. So these ones are $9.55 in US currency, which is probably around $14 Canadian. So I won't take them out of the bag, but this is what they look like. They have a similar label. It's the mandala, and I'm getting same stats except for obviously the quantity. So I'm getting 300 grams, offering up 1,181 yards or 1,080 meters. And this one is called Swatch. So I got myself one of them. I thought I might have gotten two, but I got one Swatch. And here we go. We've got the autumnal colors again. There's a lot of tans in there, aqua. There's like a dusty rose and then a purple gray. I got myself this one here, which is Centaur, and this is the one that I purchased a small one in. The idea was to just do a test on how big the stripes lengths were, and I've got a feeling it was just double the length of each of the stripes from the regular mandala to the bonus bundle mandala. And this, I was watching Lynette from Charm Grammy when she was talking about these bonus bundles as opposed to the regular mandala cake, that it would be a great idea to have a shawl that you crochet. And when you start off with the shawl, say it's top center start, and you're crocheting like in a circular, semicircular, or a triangle, you'll need only smaller amounts of yarn to complete a row, as opposed to when you get further down into the completion of that triangle shape or semicircle shape, you are needing more yarn to complete the rows. So that something like sharing the smaller cake with the larger cake might mean that the balance of color break will be better to start off with the small one and then go into the large one. If you didn't want to snip and control, color control all the way through, then this could be a natural way that it would happen anyway, regardless. So I got those two. Thanks, Lynette, for that little tip. And the last one in the bonus bundle is this one here, and I'm getting a lot more warmer tones in this one. This one is called Satire. I think it's called Satire. It's spelled S-A-T-Y-R-S. And those are the colors there. Again, they're very, very similar in so many ways. So, oh, you can't see it. There we go. Kind of similar browns, I think. Very similar. So the Satire, the Centaur, this one's a little different. So I think the Satire and Centaur are very similar. I could interchange them as well if I wanted to make a bigger project. And this one looks a little different to me. It's got more cooler colors. And that one is the Swatch. Now, a little note about when I was shopping online to the Joann's site, I was looking at the colors on the screen for many of these colorways that I've just shown you, and the colors seem a lot more vibrant and bright than what they are in real life, just from looking at the online screen to what I'm seeing in the actual cakes. So keep that in mind if you are trying to match colors for a color scheme that you're thinking of making a product for or a item, sometimes the screen isn't the true representation of the colors. And I would suggest, if you are thinking of doing a larger project, to sample one in your store first. Go and see it for face value, or buy one small sample of it, like one cake in the colorway, just to be sure that you are getting the color that you see on screen and that you're not being surprised. Yeah. All right, so a little bit more about the Joann order, and the shipping was, they didn't charge me shipping to my friend's address. So that was because I spent over the threshold and I was eligible for free shipping. I just paid for the box to be sent to me here in Canada, and it worked out that the price of the savings that I made through the discounts and the reduced prices of each of these items, the shipping paid for itself. So it was awesome. I will do that again. I would love to get more of my favorite yarn right now. It's a big twist party yarn, and I'm looking for the succulent colorway as well as the bubblegum one. Yeah, so I'll be on the hunt for that. And I am really super excited about using this Red Heart. It's called Retro Stripes. This colorway, surprisingly, is probably my favorite one out of the bunch of the jeans washi and ombre colors that I have in the assortment that I've already showed. So what was your favorite colorway that I've shown today? Do you gravitate more to the autumnal colors or the more spring colors? So yeah, with that, I think that catches you up with everything that I wanted to cover. I have some clips that I'm going to close with, a little story about Pixel, my dog, because people love hearing about Pixel and what she's up to. So we got in contact with an owner who has Pixel's sister. She lives in the area, and we managed to have a play date sort of set up, and we got to meet the owner from Pixel's sister, and the dogs got to play in the backyard. So I've got this clip of the two dogs, the two sisters from the same litter, getting together and having a lot of fun. So I'll include it in the closing. Bye for now.